You know what? So many people have that question. So many people. Because there's a fine line on deciphering if they're telling the truth or if they're lying. People that want that extra attention. So there have been some practices put into place over the decades. And one of them are lie detectors. So Travis Walton from Snowflake, Arizona, he was abducted for several days by aliens. So he says, at least, right? And there were multiple witnesses that were there that couldn't remember how he went missing. They just saw a UFO, and then the next moment, Travis Walton was gone. In this case, for his particular story, he went under a lie detector. And he took several lie detector tests where they kind of measure your brain waves. They'll ask you a question. And then, depending on how this graph moves, can usually tell if you're lying or telling the truth. Now, today, in 2025, they're not used anymore because they can be manipulated. So you can even lie to the lie detector test. Doesn't really make any sense when you say it out loud, but you can lie to them, and someone could ask you a question, and let's say the question is, do you like stinky feet? And you're going to say, no, of course not. And the graph is going to go, oh, you're lying. But if you know how to just be in control of your mind, be mindful, they can ask you that question, you'll be like, no. And then the lie detector test will believe you. So there are others like regression hypnosis as well, which can also be manipulated, like lie detector tests. And one thing that makes them credible now, so like let's say someone comes forward today and says, I had an alien encounter. I was abducted by aliens. People look at your background. Okay, where did they study? What are their credentials? Who are their parents? Where do they work? And then from there, people make up their own minds on if they believe you or not. But everyone's going to have their own answer, which is kind of like sad. But that didn't really answer your question. The answer is we don't actually know. It's just take it at face value. Trust them or don't. All right, getting on to our next one. Oh, the one in the, you have your hand raised, the one in the green. Max will get to you a little bit later. But the one in the green that might have had two alien encounters. All right, come up. Tell me what your question is.
My name's Zaki, and what is the biggest alien case still going on?
Ooh, the biggest alien case still going on. Mr. Haynes, how much time do we have left? I
Well,
want to get to everyone.
Ms. Gomez, I mean, I think that was more up to you. We're pretty flexible here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Before I answer this question, are you guys okay with the answers? Do you like them? Do you want them to be more interesting? Less interesting? All right, we're liking it. Okay, cool. That's good news. All right, so to answer your
Gomez,
question,
you're doing incredible. With about 5 minutes with me, they're like, Mr. Haynes, it's time to move on. So you're doing an amazing job. Yeah,
thank you.
keep up the good work.
Appreciate that. All right, so what is one case that is happening right now that we can still think about? Okay, who knows where New Jersey is? Raise your hand. Oh, you guys know your geography. I'm impressed. First, you're good at math, then geography. You guys are awesome. So, in New Jersey, this was very, very recent. During Thanksgiving weekend, up until today, people are seeing very strange things in the sky every single night. Now, there's these ideas that maybe they're drones. You know, the ones that you fly that have a little camera that give you great cinematography. Some of these are as big as an SUV or like a huge car. And now some people in New Jersey were like, what's going on with these drones? I'm going to fly my own drone up to this object to figure out what the heck it is. Now, these commercial operated drones by the person on the ground has a fully charged battery. They made sure to charge it right before they flew it up into the air. When these small drones get really close up to these really big objects, the battery would just drain out immediately and then fall to the ground. Now, these are expensive drones and go for anywhere from $100 to a few $1,000s. So people were really scared. They're like, oh, what's going on? The FBI got involved. The Federal Aviation Administration got involved, which has to do with like airplanes. The Pentagon got involved, and the New Jersey Sheriff Department got involved. They're like, what the heck is happening? I don't understand. People are freaking out. They want to shoot at these things, but somehow they keep missing. I don't know how that happens. So the Sheriff Department, they do their interviews and they say these things are a threat. These things are coming out of the water in dozens and just swarming New Jersey, swarming New York as well. We can even look at Philadelphia. But these are happening all over the world. These very strange things in the sky that people are calling drones, but many of them aren't. They're being seen in England, in Germany, in Sudan as well, all at the same time. So this was November of last year into December into today. It's happening right now. We don't have any explanations. Now, in December of 2017, the Pentagon and the previous president was like, guys, they're just drones. You know what? We did this. We freaked you out. It's our fault. Sorry. But people weren't buying it. They're like, no. I think you're lying. And then during the new administration with the new president, they had someone speak out, the Pentagon spokesman, and she's like, they're not a threat. But she never told us what they were. So that is one case that's happening right now that people are trying to explain away as drones, but most people don't think that they are. Could it be a kind of collaboration between ET and humans? Could some of that technology be ours and some of it not ours? That's what people have in mind. Now, based off of what I told you, which is limited information, do you think it's ours or do you think it's alien? All right, raise your hand if you think it's ours. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you think it's alien. Raise your hand. Ooh, alien. It might be. I think it's strange that we don't have any answers and people are seeing these things pulsate in the sky. Some of them split into two. When a drone that we know is being operated by a person gets close to this object, the battery just drains out and they're coming in and out of the water. Sounds pretty freaky. So that's something that's happening right now. Now, the one in the gray and Max, I'll get to you in just a moment, okay? We're gonna. But see, you already asked your question. Go to the next row, and then we'll get to you. I promise. Okay. The one in red, in the back, the last row. You don't have a question? The one in green. Do you have a question in the back row? No. Okay. The one in white. Do you have a question? I'm seeing a trend here with the last row. The troublemakers. It looks like. I was like that too. All right. The one in black. You have a question?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Come on forward. Tell me your name and your question.
My name is Ariana, and my question is, what's your favorite drone sighting? And not drone sighting. What's your favorite alien sighting and why?
Okay, my favorite case of all time is the craziest case you could ever think about. And this one took place in Brazil. I'm going to speed through this because I know it's super long, but I'll be quick. This took place in 1977. How many years ago was that? Give me an estimate. Someone can raise their hand to give me an estimate of how many years ago that was? The one in green. Oh, you took it back?
Yeah.
Who knows? Oh, okay. William, tell me. Come up close. Tell me how many years ago that was. Give me a guess.
I think it's 48.
That's pretty close. I'll take it. That was good. I like the rough math. So, in 1977, in Brazil, this very small fishing town, they were being hunted. They were being terrorized by UFOs every single day for 6 months. Now, this case is completely documented. A lot of the information is now public that was released by the Brazilian government, not just some random guy sitting in his basement having a little bit of fun playing Minecraft and researching UFOs. No, this came from the Brazilian government many years later, 2003 actually. But in this case, for 6 months, these people were being hunted by these UFOs. These beams of light would come down and puncture them. They would get all of these little spots on their chest in a perfect triangle. And it was so scary for these people that they called these craft in the sky the suckers. These creepy looking entities, these scary looking craft. They were so scared that these neighbors, these people would all sleep in the same little house to protect each other. But these beams of light would come through the windows, would come through the walls, would come through the roofs. Nobody was safe. No matter how many locks they put on the door, no matter how much wood they'd put on the windows to block out any light, these beams of light would come through. So months pass, and the Brazilian mayor of Colares calls the capital, which is Brasilia, and the mayor says, I need you to bring your military, bring your best men, bring all of your weapons, all of the tanks, all right? And the military comes in, they infiltrate the entire small town. But they were missing their guns. They were missing their knives. They were missing their ginormous tanks. Instead, they had paper, they had some pencils, some guy with some glasses, and taking notes. They weren't there to protect the people. They were there to document what was happening. So for 4 months, they interviewed about 4,000 witnesses. They took a bunch of photos. They took photographs and they did drawings of these craft as well. And the crazy part is we have physical evidence of the people that were terrorized by these craft. Guess what? 2 people died as well. Now that's a unique detail when it comes to UFO sightings, is that most people don't die right after, but 2 did in this case in 1977. And then in 1997, so 20 years later, the captain of the operation run by the military called Operation Saucer gave an interview. Again, 20 years later, right after he retired, he's like, I have nothing to lose. I can finally share my story. And he tells everyone, well, he tells this interview, which ended up becoming viral, which we would classify that as today. He said, not only did the people in Colares have a UFO sighting, I had a UFO sighting. My men had a UFO sighting. And he shares this really interesting encounter. And I'm going to share a picture here of a drawing that he did in this interview in 1997. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. Here it is. This is his drawing. And he says, this thing hugged me from behind at night, really, really tight, and said in a robotic, metallic voice in perfect Portuguese, because they speak Portuguese in Brazil, and says, hey, we're not going to harm you. Don't worry about it. Now, does that make sense, anybody? These things were hurting everybody in this small little town, but doesn't hurt the captain. And his name is Captain Urangue Lima. I'm going to show you a picture of him. So you guys have it. I have a whole folder on this. There he is. It's a pretty bad picture, actually. But this is Captain Urangue Lima, 1997, 20 years after the Operation Saucer. And then, here's where it gets kind of sad. 2 months, 2 to 3 months after giving his interview, he passes away. What? How did he pass away? Well, that's where the rumors are, and it's pretty freaky. But that's why this is one of my favorite cases. You have documented evidence, you have pictures and drawings, and I'll show them to you actually. Here's one picture. It looks like a blob. I know, it looks pretty boring, but you know what? At least we get something. Here are some drawings that were documented by the officers from Operation Saucer. And this is it's in Colares, just right on the tip of Brazil. Here, there's Captain Orlando Lima. And these are just a bunch of different drawings and documents that have been released to the public. But this one, out of all the UFO cases, has some of the most data. Now, who liked that case? Raise your hand. Who thought it was kind of boring? Raise your hand. Nice. That was a trick question. Oh, what? The one in the glasses and the white? You thought it was boring? Just kidding. I'm just joking with you. We'll get to you. Come on over. The one in the white with glasses. Yes, you changed your mind about your.
Okay,
Come
Anna,
on over.
Yeah.
Okay, you go after Brielle, okay?
Do you believe in aliens, and if you do, why?
Well, with the research that I do, which I again dedicated almost my whole life, well, not my whole life, but years to this. Feels like my whole life. Do I believe in aliens? I think at this point it's almost asking, do you believe in humans? Are humans real? Are they real? Raise your hand. Think they're real? Yeah, they're real. Now these aliens, extraterrestrials, based off of the data that we have now and the science that backs it up, yes. It's not really a matter of belief. It's just a matter of knowing. We just know at this point. All right. The one in the pink sweater in the back, did you have a question? Oh, the one in the red, you had a question? Come on over. Change your mind. I love it.
What is the craziest UFO story you have ever heard? And my name is Anna.
Hi there. Hannah or Anna? I missed it.
Anna.
Anna. Okay. Well, the craziest one for me is the Colares case that I just shared with you. That one's my favorite. But if I had to pick another one, another super crazy case. Oh, I don't remember all the details, but there's this one little thing, this one little tidbit about this man who was visited by aliens. And you know what he did? He didn't drop his pen like that. No, he didn't do that. But what he did instead was what any nice person would do when you come and visit their home. He made him pancakes. I love me some pancakes with some nice syrup, a little bit of butter. Yeah, people are like, mm-hmm. Now, I can probably look up that name for you on the case because it escapes me, but that has to be one of the craziest stories. It's well known now, but it's just this guy who was like, "Oh, I have guests. Let me make pancakes first thing in the morning." I want to knock on that man's door and get some free pancakes too. Raise your hand if you agree. Yeah, free pancakes. Okay. The one in the gray with the glasses in the back. Do you have a question? Yes, you. The one that's pointing at yourself, the gray shirt. Oh, well, you can come up. Well, sit back down, and then the one in the back, and we'll get back to you. I promise, okay? Yes. Tell me your name and your question.
My name is Piper, and my question is, has there ever been a sighting that involves baby aliens?
Baby aliens. Ooh. You know what? I never thought about that. Now I have to look into it. I haven't come across a story like that, but I can give something similar. So I haven't heard of one of baby aliens, but I've heard of stories of baby hybrids. Now, who knows what a hybrid is? Raise your hand. Look at you, little smart potatoes. That is right. Now, potatoes aren't hybrids, by the way. But yes. So it's in this case, for the context here, there are stories of hybrids between an alien and a person. And they grow like regular people from babies into adulthood. So there's some of these stories of where sometimes, you know what, I'll give you a specific example. This one took place in Brazil in the 1940s, and it's one of the first documented alien abduction stories. His name was Antonio Villas Boas from Brazil. And he was just minding his own business. He was a farmer, doing his own thing, grabbing the crops, eating some apples on the way. And he sees this strange thing in the sky, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And he goes up to it, and he's like, "Whoa, it's a UFO." This is before we knew what UFOs were. Anyways, he gets taken on the craft, and he meets a beautiful woman on there, a redhead, pale skin, stunning, according to Antonio. Depends on your standards, right? and they make a child. Years later, he gets visited every once in a while by the mother, and she shows Antonio Boas their child every once in a while. And it looks very human, but it has larger eyes. Years later, he no longer became a farmer and he became a lawyer. And he started investigating these kinds of cases. But there are a lot of stories very similar to this one where people and aliens will have a child together, and sometimes the hybrid will come and visit the human counterpart. Now, you can believe that if you want. You don't have to. There's very little data to back up that kind of stuff, but it sounds kind of freaky. Sounds a little scary. Anyone else have a question? I know we're going overtime. Hopefully that's okay. Okay. Oh, the one in the pink sweater. Okay. You didn't have a question, so come on over.
My name is Renard, and have you ever or was there any case about an alien walking in the streets?
An alien walking?
Yeah, like in the streets or something.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Kind of. I'll give you a story. Let me actually just pull up the name so to make sure I don't give you the wrong name, because I know this one. There is one that took place in England, and let me just get my notes on this one, because I know this. UFOs over. Okay, I'm gonna go from memory on this one. Yes, there are a few cases like this, but let me ask you this: who has ever gone to Walmart when the sun went down? Raise your hand. Who's gone to Walmart after 12 a.m., 12 p.m.? So it's like super late? Yeah. Have you seen kind of weird people at Walmart during that time? Raise your hand. Are they aliens? Are they aliens? You know what? I asked myself that question because one of the best places to hide is in plain sight, right? Where you feel like you're with your people. And at 1 a.m. in Walmart, you see you shouldn't even be up at that time anyway. But if you are, don't go to Walmart. It's freaky. So, to answer your question, there are some ideas. There are some stories of alien, like things that look alien, the big eyes, big head, that are walking around, usually in more remote areas. Okay, I have a story for you. I have one. It came to mind. This one came out in James Fox's recent documentary, The Program. Now, Mr. Haynes told me that you guys know James Fox, like you know who he is, right? Shake your head. Not really. A little bit. Kind of. Okay, so he's a super famous documentary filmmaker. Very nice man, by the way. He came across a story for his movie, The Program, about a man that was driving on a desolate road, and he sees someone far away that looked like he kind of needed some help. But as this human is walking closer and closer and closer to this other guy that looks like a little bit like he's in distress, his features look kind of strange. His eyes are a little too big for his face. His nose is a little bit too small for his face. And his skin color isn't skin color enough. It looked kind of strange. And as this person is getting closer and closer, trying to help this other guy, the person, it doesn't look like a full person, says, "Do you have this metal? Do you have this material? I need it to repair my vehicle." But he didn't say it, and his mouth didn't move. It was all through the mind, called telepathy. And the man freaked out. He's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And no, we don't have that metal. Like, get out of here. So this entity walked away, literally walked away and left. So that is a more recently known story. But let's say that these entities are really able to travel from one planet to another with their technology. They wouldn't need to walk anymore, like in the movie WALL-E. Like, that's so old school. That's so 21st century. Imagine just like hovering everywhere in your little hoverboard, or you have like instead of legs, you just have like little like gas pipes to go just like fly around. I would like that very much. Would you like that? Raise your hand. To fly around everywhere? No, I'm seeing some shake heads, some kind of. Walking is pretty cool. It keeps you know what? We all got to walk from time to time, but also like not walking. I also like that. It's nice. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? We went through everyone now, so we can go back to our remaining ones. Mr. Haynes, do we have time?
Yeah, we have about probably 20, 25 minutes. So.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Actually, there was rumors that you were going to be presenting to our class today, and we have a third grader that came up because he's really interested, and he doesn't have a question, but Marcel, he just happened to wear this shirt this day, and he actually didn't know yesterday. Can you show? It says aliens
That is
is that mine?
coming.
Aliens are coming. So yeah, thanks.
That's a sick shirt. I love it. I should have worn my alien shirt. I didn't think that through. Should have worn mine. Okay. Now that we've gone through everyone, we can do some repeat questions. Starting off with the one in gray. You've had your hand raised for a long time. Come on up. Yes, you. Yes. Well, no. No, sit back down. You're already up. Just come up. It's fine. Just come up. You're already standing up. Yeah. Let's hear your question.
What if we're just aliens and we're in a simulation about what it would be like to be a human?
Ooh, that was a really wise question. That was a really great question. Well, I don't have the answer to that one, but we can apply this to our everyday lives. Who here plays video games? Raise your hand. Does anyone play Minecraft? Raise your hand. Anyone play Sims? Raise your hand. No? Mario? I don't know. I'm naming games to sound cool. All right, great. Put your hands down. So, we can apply that same mentality to aliens. Maybe they like playing video games, but instead of being a cube or a creeper from Minecraft, they want to be an alien, which in that case would be a human. What we would call a human, they're an alien, right? And vice versa. So they're like, oh, aliens are so cool. Look at their eyes and their nose, and they all have hair. That's so alien. It's so weird. But in reality, they're just describing us humans. Now, the part about the simulation, this might not be in your time period, but who's seen The Matrix? Anyone seen The Matrix? Kind of. Mr. Haynes is dating himself over there. Same. I know. Represent, right? But that whole movie, it's PG-13, right, Mr. Haynes? It should be PG-13. It's definitely a movie that should be okay for nothing bad in the first movie. That whole movie describes the idea of a simulation. Great movie, highly recommend. Came out in 99, 2001, something like that. Older than all of you. But you can apply that same mentality to aliens, which actually aliens are involved in that movie. Great. And another movie, oh, Mr. Haynes, if you ever have a movie night, one movie that I recommend, and it's PG, it's called Childhood's End. Have you seen it? It's all about kids. And this movie, I'll make this very quick. It's about these kids that are chosen, and they are chosen to go practically to a different planet, and they leave all the adults on planet Earth. It's a really good movie. And the author, before he passed away, claimed it was based on a true story. Now, from what planet is the question, or was it from the future? I don't know. All right, next question. Who's got a question? Yes, the gray in the front row. And you find your hand up forever, next to Max. Yes. Tell me your question, and tell me your name one more time.
My name is Davion, and if you were to ever come in contact with a UFO or an alien, what would you ask them?
I should be asking you that question, Davion. I want you to answer that one first. Come back up. What would you ask them?
I would ask them to share their technology with our country.
Nice. What if they're already doing that? So with Roswell in 1947, there was a book written by Philip Corso, which was a colonel during 47, he said he was involved with Roswell, where they were collecting the technology from the crashed craft in New Mexico. And he said, you know, Velcro that you have on your shoes that go, grr? Actually, I don't know the Velcro sound. I can't make sounds. But the Velcro, right? And quantum fiber, they said that it came from the Roswell craft and that people didn't make it. But the craft, well, the technology on the craft did. That was written in a book. Again, written by Colonel Philip Corso. So there's this idea by some that technology is already being shared, but it's very quiet. It's very on the down low. We don't know too much about it, us people, like commoners. We're classified as commoners. But I would like for it to be public knowledge on what technology we have received from extraterrestrials. Now, a question that I would ask them is, you know what? I think it's so important to be nice. You know, offer people some snacks first. Be like, hey, do you wanna eat some cake together? You know, do you want to have some coffee first? Because then, you know what? When you fill them on food and drink, then you can ask them questions. Because now they're forced because you gave them free food, and that's the secret. All right, Max, what's your question?
Um,
Be closer, Max.
Come closer.
how many paleothetic alien sightings are there? Like the little alien blobs that hop on your head and control you. How many sightings of that are there?
Yeah, parasitic, like parasite, right?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good word you used there. Are you referring to kind of like the anime parasites? Have you seen
Yeah,
that
like,
anime?
like the thing
Yeah.
blobs that hop on your head and control you. No.
Yeah. Almost like Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I've never come across a story like that, so I don't know. But I will look at that now because now I'm curious. Who had next question? Oh, we got a lot of second questions going on. I love that we have extra time. Okay, the one in the really cool jean jacket. Tell me your name one more time and ask me your question.
My name is Lucy, and is there an alien sighting that has a lot of evidence? That
A lot of residents?
evidence.
Oh, yes. Okay, great question. So the one that I've come across that has the most evidence so far is the Colares Brazil case that I shared with you just a little bit earlier. Has a lot of information. Another one that has a sufficient amount of data. Really, when we're looking at people that are investigating this, like for instance, Stanton Friedman or J. Allen Hynek from Project Blue Book, not the TV show, but the original Project Blue Book. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about him. So this guy, have you guys seen the TV show Project Blue Book? I don't think so. It's a little older. Well, the actual project was between 50 to 69, 52 to 69, and they were trying to explain away UFO sighting. So if anyone reported a UFO sighting to the Air Force, they were like, I'm going to send over my best man, J. Allen Hynek, who was an astronomer at the time, right, looking at stars and planets. We're going to send him over, interview you, and we're going to actually tell you it wasn't aliens, but it was actually Venus. It was actually Jupiter. You know what? It was actually an owl sitting on a tree stump, and it looked like an alien. Well, years later, after Project Blue Book closed in 1969, he started thinking to himself, I've recorded thousands of reports and I was paid to debunk all of them, meaning to tell people that they can be explained away when in reality, the data doesn't push that way. And so he ended up writing books years later, helped write movies like Close Encounter of the Third Kind, written by Steven Spielberg, who also created Jaws and the new movie The Dish. No, it's not called Disclosure. It's called Disclosure now. And he was like, there's something to this. And so he has some of the most sufficient data on these UFO sightings, but one of them took place in Papua New Guinea, where a priest saw a UFO. And he didn't say it was angels, like you would think a priest would do, right? Because they're at the church and they say, angels and demons, right? You're going to see one or the other. But in this case, he saw a flying saucer, him and a bunch of other people in Papua New Guinea. And he tells one of the kids that was there, "Hey, grab my notebook, grab a pencil immediately." So the little boy is going through his office, grabbing a pen and paper, runs back to Father Gill, that was his name, and he starts writing it down, documenting, drawing what he was seeing. And in this case, what he saw was not only a flying saucer, but beings waving at him, saying, "Hi, Father Gill. Hi, everybody down on the ground." And everyone on the ground was like, "Do you see that? Am I going crazy or am I seeing beings waving at me?" And there were 70 witnesses. It's about 70 witnesses that all saw the exact same thing. Luckily, Father Gill had written it all down, drew it as well. J. Allen Hynek investigated it. And that's a very interesting case that has sufficient data. Okay, who's next?
Jesse has
I-
Jesse, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Haynes, I'll let you take care of the rest on who should go next.
My name is Jesse, and have you ever seen an alien before?
I've never seen an alien, but I have seen a UFO, which I answered. Actually, one of the first questions that I answered. But I don't know how I would react if I were to see an alien. I'd be so shocked. It would be like seeing a celebrity. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I want to take a selfie with you, ask for your autograph, tell me all your favorite things." That's probably how I would react. But someone asked a question about different species. There are ideas that different entities have different agendas, meaning that they're going to treat people differently in the sense of sometimes, depending on the being, they'll be super nice to humanity. Like in the Ariel School incident, I know Mr. Haynes told you guys about, where in Zimbabwe, a bunch of kids, 62 kids, saw an alien land on, the UFO land. They saw an alien, and the alien said, "We're not here to hurt you. If anything, we want you to protect your planet." There are a lot of stories like this, and those are classified as space brothers, where they want to protect you, they want to protect the planet, and they want to heal all these diseases that we have here on Earth. Then you have entities similar to like the Colares Brazil incident that don't really care about humans at all. They just want to run tests on them and see them more as guinea pigs or as like lab rats than anything else. So I'd like to kind of feel out if they were good or bad, right? And then go from there. Either run away as fast as I possibly can or have a cup of tea with them. Who was next? Mr. Haynes, can you pass him on over to me, if you don't mind? Tell me your name one more time.
My name's Annika, and would you want to be abducted by aliens?
Ooh. I'm going to throw this question back to you. I know you have kind of limited knowledge right now, but raise your hand if you'd want to be abducted. It gets the woos over here. Okay, raise your hand if you would not want to be abducted. Okay. Before I answer this question, we've been sitting down a long time. Everybody stand up. We're going to do a little wiggle party, and we're going to wiggle it out, get all that energy. Yeah. And then give me your favorite dance move. What's your favorite dance move? Like this. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Wiggle it out. Everybody do a spin. Spin around. Do another spin as fast as you can. Really fast. Don't blend everybody. All right. Now we got to do the finger dance like this. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. All right. Everybody sit down. We got some of our wiggles out. Okay. Okay. Would I want to be abducted? A lot of people, according to stories, a lot of people that have been abducted don't remember. But they get these little like spurts of memory. In your case, sometimes you're just sitting down having breakfast in the morning, and then you get this memory of when you were like 5 years old, and you're like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" Anybody ever had that before? maybe, or something that happened a few years ago, and you're like, wait a second, I had that memory? I forgot. These are kind of similar to those that have had alleged alien abductions, where they'll just kind of get these weird kind of spurts of memory, or they will find something on their body that they didn't have before. Sometimes for women, they will have a kind of scar right below their belly button. Sometimes they will find little objects protruding from their arm, which is kind of like coming out of their arm, and they can feel it, and it feels like a little like hard object. These are classified as probes. And so that will also trigger some memories or usually a lot more questions. So then they would go to someone like, but before Stanton Friedman passed away, someone like him, or John Lear, which is another one who was a doctor, a foot doctor, who would remove alien probes from people. He passed away as well. But I, what I want to, I don't think so. I would like to be fully conscious, fly the craft, maybe steal it, right? Kind of wander the universe. But I like to have full memories. I don't want to be like feel fear, because when I'm scared, I get really sweaty and it is gross. I don't like being scared or nervous. I'm not nervous now, so it's okay. I'm not sweating. All right, next question. Yes. Okay. All right, tell me your name. Tell me your favorite drink. Yeah, and then tell me your question.
My name's Brielle. My favorite drink is probably root beer. Um, why do you think aliens are here?
What I think that they're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Haynes, I got about 10 minutes left, if that's okay. Yeah. Okay, great. So we got 10 minutes. So to answer your question,
I think we have about 5.
great. So why are they here? There are a lot of theories on this. Some think they've always been here. There are places like Mount Shasta, Superstition Mountain. I think Superstition Mountain is in. Let me just work that one out. I know this. Superstition Mountain. Aha, it is in Arizona. So places like Superstition Mountain in Arizona, Mount Shasta in California, Mount Mount Olympic in Washington. There are these ideas that from those mountains alone here in the United States that people have been seeing aliens and weird things come out of the sky forever. Even in a volcano in Mexico by the name of Popocatépetl, where there's a live cam. Actually, you can find it on YouTube. There's a live cam of 24/7. But sometimes people capture weird things come in and out that isn't lava or debris or anything like that. So some think that they have been here since the beginning. We can look at Atlantis and those legends and myths of it. And some think that maybe we're dealing with multiple, some that have been here for a long time, and others that are actually coming to visit. Because let's be real here. Who likes going on vacation? Raise your hand. Like going to the beach. Raise your hand. Going on a hike in the mountains. Raise your hand. Right? Everyone has their hand raised because we all love vacations. Why can't they like vacations too? But instead of just going around in their planet, they get to go to other planets, see totally different environments, different people, different species, different food. Oh, I love trying new foods, right? So there's that idea. And then there's also this idea, it's a more modern one, but that they're interdimensional. This idea that they're not just here on this plane of existence, but other planes, kind of like ghosts. How you can like kind of see them, but you can't, right? Sometimes. Because they're on a different plane of existence, a different realm, a different dimension. So they're called interdimensionals. And so there's that as an idea that maybe they're sharing the same space with us, but they're vibrating at a slightly different frequency so that we're not able to see them or interact with them, but they are there. Kind of like ghosts, right? So some think they've always been here, some could be visiting, and some are just slightly out of our view. Next question. Mr. Haynes is picking you guys now. It's not me.
All right. I think this will be the final question. I was hoping I could ask one too. I'm a big fan, so I didn't want to waste the opportunity. But so Zachy and then you want me to go first? Okay, Ms. Gomez, it was kind of ironic. A week before you released the how like certain vehicles got affected, Miss Stockton told us a story in Dayton, Washington, where her and her brother they saw what appeared to be a flying saucer, and their vehicle died. So, why do you think that's occurring where it affects like mechanics?
This is a question that I asked my co-host Jimmy Church from Beta Black Radio because I didn't have an answer. I didn't really know why. But one thing that we've noticed with the phenomenon when it comes not only to UFOs, but even the paranormal as well, looking at ghosts, right? For instance, they're somehow always interacting with our technology. And there are some ideas, some of them that Jimmy didn't mention, but one of them could be that they're attempting to maybe harness the energy, like the innate energy that is there, that is more prevalent than maybe Earth energy as a possibility because it's so concentrated in a specific area, like the batteries, for instance. So there's that as an idea, but then the question would be why? They're so advanced. Why do they need to harness energy from our very lame technology compared to these guys? And it could also just kind of be like an interference level where you're dealing with radios, right? Do any of you guys use radios anymore to hang out with people when you like you go to the pool, you go to the park or the forest, and you're like, "Kerr, Roger that. I'm at this base in this location, right?" Okay, some of you guys, kind of. Well, when you're in a different frequency on your channel radios, you could be listening to someone else's conversation, right? But just barely because you're not in the right channel. There's the same idea that maybe these craft or the phenomenon really is just interacting with our stuff at a very interesting and maybe sometimes even a kind of common frequency that is affecting our stuff in a very strange way, like battery drainage or cars practically breaking down and stopping. And so that's my hypothesis on that one.
Zachy,
Do you want to do final question, Mr. Haynes? Do you have a last question? Oh,
Zachy.
tell me.
This isn't really like an alien question, but chicken nuggets or chicken strips?
I ask it to me one more time, closer to the microphone, and you
What do you like
press
better?
What do you like better, chicken nuggets or chicken strips?
Oh, I like chicken nuggets because they're bite sized. Yeah, right. They're good. Chicken strips are great because they're juicy, but chicken nuggets they're just like just one bite and you're good. Less messy, you know. Great question.
Ruby,
Did Mr. Haynes run away?
He said I could go, so I don't know.
Go for it. Go for it.
Are like aliens always like moving creatures, or can they be like the aliens themselves? Have they always been like looking like kind of humans, both different like traits, or can they be like different shapes or weird creatures?
All of the above. So from what we okay, let's make an example to here on planet Earth. There are so many different crazy bugs and fish and birds, right? They all look so strange because of their environment. With extraterrestrials that we know about so far and the ideas that we have, it all depends on the planet that they're on and the star that they orbit around that affects how they look. Some of them do look more human according to the stories, and some of them look very what we would classify as very alien. So all of the above, and the possibilities are endless. Knowing having an understanding of how big our universe is and how many universes are out there. or they're just like bubble universes. It's an infinite amount from mathematics and science that we know of today. So to answer your question, it's all of the above.
Hey, we get standardization for mathematics.
Thank you, everybody. I look forward to more YouTube videos. Okay, I want some cool stuff
It's gonna go on
on
YouTube.
there.
We'll go out.
Yeah, it's gonna go on YouTube. It's gonna go on YouTube.
Sorry, what?
It's gonna go
Oh,
on
student council people, you guys.
Is it
Can
gonna
you
go
give us a shout out?
Actually,
I don't think so.
wait, isn't it gonna go on YouTube?
Oh, if I get more videos from you guys, I'd be more than happy.
Mr. Haynes, can we do another video with her?
It's we'll have the conversation.